Top tech luminaries, analysts, academics, experts, and C-level execs, the shakers, the movers, the thought leaders, and out-of-the-box thinkers tell all the Technology Association of Georgia President Tino Mantella. Something amazing somebody said new each week, but one way for you to hear it all for yourself is when Tino gets them to Tech Talk. Imagine the technology landscape in Atlanta nearly a quarter century ago. Recent mergers and acquisitions of some of the tech companies whose very roots have been the long-term foundation of our booming industry today validates the community's innate vision of the future and confirms the often stated comment that innovation is in our DNA. The latest acquisition, a global leader in call and voice automation solutions, Avtex, acquires one of Atlanta's advanced IP telephony pioneers, Perimeter Technology. Many will remember that as early as 1986, Perimeter Technology was one of the first to build a truly real-time management information system that was adopted by Nortel, AT&T, Lucent, Siemens, and NEC, ultimately employed in more than 1,000 contact centers worldwide. Greetings, everyone. It's Tuesday, January 8th, 2008. And this is Tech Talk with Technology Association of Georgia President Tino Mantella. Why did Avtex acquire Perimeter? Why do so many of the niche technology sector leaders shop Atlanta for acquisitions? What does the future hold for Avtex, already a global leader in systems integration and expertise in telecom and information systems? In this edition of Tech Talk, Tino speaks with Avtex President and CEO Bob Denman, who is responsible for the company's overall vision, direction, growth, and profitability. With more than 20 years of enterprise software experience and call handling technologies, prior to joining Avtex in 1993, Bob was national sales manager for a $150 million Bell South company and held top executive roles in numerous companies during his industry-respected technology innovation career. Now, recognized as a contact industry thought leader, Bob frequently contributes articles to leading trade journals and is a sought-after speaker at top industry trade shows. Atlanta's recent acquisitions and merger excitement, the Atlanta region's role in the future of technology and the telecom solutions in the hyper-connected world of the future. Tech Talk makes contact to one of the industry's top players as Tino speaks with Avtex CEO Bob Denman.
Bob, thank you for joining me on Tech Talk.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Why don't we start by having our listeners learn a little bit more about Avtex. Can you tell us about the core business of the company?
Sure. We've actually been around since the early 70s. We are considered an application and systems integration company, and we focus on three primary disciplines, contact centers, IP telephony, and messaging. Our particular expertise is in the arena of delivering these technology solutions to our customers in a way that helps them embrace their customers.
Thanks. Atlanta has, over the last couple of years, and I'm sure you know a bit about this, as Frank said in the intro, been privy to numerous acquisitions. So we're always interested, I think our listeners are interested in hearing the motivations of acquiring companies here in Atlanta. So what prompted you to look at Perimeter Technology and the Atlanta area?
Well, a couple of things. We have been looking to grow in the southeast region of the United States and specifically headquartered out of Atlanta for a number of years, and really looking for the right opportunity to do so. We're very encouraged and enthused by the market itself, the types of businesses that are calling Atlanta and the southeast home, the growth that's happening in the region. And when the opportunity arose with Perimeter, we thought it was the perfect opportunity at the perfect time to jump into the region.
And what's the the longer term commitment to Atlanta? Will this be a hub for some of the technologies and an area of growth do you expect, and also just in general in terms of number of employees that you would expect in this area and along those lines?
Sure. Yeah. Well, we're absolutely looking at it as a significant growth opportunity for us. We're currently hiring. We've hired a couple of folks in the area. We do have people as a result of the perimeter acquisition. We have people throughout the region already, but we are adding. I would expect that would become, for us, we're headquartered in Minneapolis, and we have other regional spots in Cincinnati and Milwaukee and Omaha and Des Moines. And I think that for us, the Atlanta region and specifically or the Southeast gives us an opportunity for that to be probably our largest growth area in 08 and 09.
Well, that's good news. Will the Avtex name will be the brand name? Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
And shifting gears a little bit, just in terms of your background in the technologies, particularly in telecom, can you talk a little bit about your perspective on what's happening in the industry and what's the future hold in terms of technology? You know, we hear a lot about the convergence and both in terms of acquisitions of companies, certainly, but also the convergence of the technologies.
Well, I think you hit on the key for us and really why we're looking to expand our reach outside of our current regions, and that is that the business of convergence, of really combining voice and data, is in full bloom, if you will. And we're still in a relatively early stage for those organizations that understand how to deliver and support converged applications. And specifically for us, we see the market heating up in the three sectors that we're involved with. Contact centers, traditionally call centers, have been very much voice-focused organizations. And I think today corporate America is realizing that their buyer is no longer just happy trying to deal with them over the telephone. So you have to have multimedia technologies. You have to be able to support them via the web and email and other technologies that sort of are day-to-day in everybody's vernacular today with wireless and the portability of all of people's lives require you to deliver a solution to them that they can reach you anytime, anywhere, anyhow. Additionally, the unified communications market, you may know that Microsoft has recently made an interesting foray into the voice business, specifically around unified communications. And we are a Microsoft partner, and that helps us expand our reach in the region as well, and delivering some very sophisticated UC applications.
You've touched on this, but let's elaborate a little bit more on Avtex. You as a CEO, what direction are you going to be taking the organization, and what kinds of new things in terms of staying ahead of the curve, if you will, do you have to implement over the course of the next, say, year to keep Avtex out in front?
Well, we've always, as a systems integrator, an application integrator, our survival depends upon choosing the right platforms to support in the marketplace. And from that perspective, we spend an unusual amount of time in the research and development of new technologies coming down the pipeline, if you will. And so where we are kind of betting the farm is really in this IP telephony or contact centers that are IP-enabled, and in the unified communications market. So the two primary platforms that we deliver solutions from in that regard are Microsoft and a company out of Indianapolis called Interactive Intelligence. We believe that those are the best mousetraps, if you will, and that our value and the thing that we continue to strive to do is to provide the expertise and the methodologies to deliver these technologies and these solutions in a way that meets the business objective. And there are lots of organizations out there that will talk that talk, but very few can actually deliver. And we have a pedigree from the perspective of time. We've been doing this for a long time, but in addition to that, the reason that customers, the reason that we win customers is really the fact that we're able to deliver in the execution and the implementation of these technologies.
Now, are you looking at, when you look at an area like Atlanta, in terms of growth in Atlanta, do you look at the market penetration? Are there a number of companies that have to make new decisions in relation to the technologies that you sell, or is it market share in terms of current companies and really?
Well, excuse me, I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I think what we see is the reason that we're generally excited about Atlanta is from the perspective of what we do, the market is underserved. There are very few organizations that we've found in the region even that deliver the technologies and the methodologies that we do for these solutions. So that's one piece of it, and I think another piece just in general is that you've got a major regional commerce center that continues to grow and has demonstrated in the past a propensity to innovate through technology, and I think that's a perfect storm for us, if you will.
Right. With the university research that's done here, it's now over $1 billion a year between the major universities in the state. And Georgia has traditionally outpaced the nation in terms of the development of new enterprises, both coming out of the university segment, but also as the acquisitions have taken place, there have been a number of employees in these past companies that have decided to, take off on their own and build new companies. And so it's been quite robust, as you've identified, in terms of that aspect. I guess I wouldn't have realized how one would look at the underserved area, but certainly makes sense that you guys are now here. So it's great to have you here, Bob, and best of luck to you moving forward.
Thank you very much. We appreciate the opportunity and look forward to seeing you around the region.
Well, we've been talking to Bob Denman from Avtex, who's the president and CEO. Thank you for joining me on Tech Talk.
Take care.